good morning, everybody, and welcome to TLC Live. I'm Andrea Gomez.
And I'm Orlando Sanchez, and it looks like we're going to go on a trail ride. You look like blue jeans and pearl snap buttons.
It's very trendy. Everything that it has to do with jeans, and now combining different colors of jeans. So I'm just trying to be trendy for summer.
I've been trendy for 40 years. Wranglers, pearl snap buttons, and boots.
You're absolutely right. But now you are officially trendy.
There you go. Who'd have thought?
Imagine. Well, you are always living like a rodeo mode.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life, as they say, it ain't my first rodeo.
Ain't your first rodeo. Okay.
So we have an exciting program this morning.
So this year, as everybody knows, or probably majority of the people knows, we have elections in November. We just had elections at the beginning of May, but we're going to have elections in November. It's going to be for council members.
Somebody we know is going to be on the ballot.
Somebody we know, yeah. Oh, somebody we know that is trendy. So we want you to be more trendy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? Tell us about that before we introduce
our
guest.
Yes, as Andrea says, we have November elections, and I've decided to seek another public office to bring transparency to public finance. And so I have declared my candidacy as a candidate for Houston City Controller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, can you
go to my website, orlandosanchez.com, for more information.
Okay.
That's a political commercial.
That was a political
paid for
commercial
by Orlando Sanchez campaign.
But big O. Well, you know what? Explain to us what is that position and why it's important.
It's the guy that gets to wear the green shades and look at the books, pays the bills, issues debt for the city when the city council approves a bond issue, makes the overnight investments, does audits of the different departments to make sure that the money is being spent properly. And it's all of the finances of the city of Houston. And I ran 4 years ago, came very close, and I thought I'd do it again.
And me knowing you personal, and we're being friends
personally,
not
personal.
Personally, I'm
There's
still.
A difference.
That was a short class, English 101.
Yeah.
We're still, I'm still learning English, and you're still learning Spanish, even though that Spanish was your first language.
Pero mi español está perfecto,
no,
sin acento. Pero no tengo acento, y el tuyo, el inglés.
I'm trendy with my accent. I'm very trendy. I'm very trendy. No, okay. I sound sexy.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
Knowing you personally, I can tell that if that position is what you're describing, you're gonna do really good.
Well,
because in your personal life, you manage money very well. Also, in Texas Latino Conservatives, in your previous campaigns, and I've been seeing
and Harris County, billions of dollars.
I've been seeing you making magic with small budgets. So
okay.
No,
well, there you go.
That's a talent.
So you're going to turn over all your money so I can manage it for you?
No, not that. But anyway, so we're going to talk today. The topic of today is not only the upcoming elections in November, also presidential elections in 2024, but how we're gonna, or you guys, the people are running for office, are sending the message to the public to get their vote. So traditional media, it's been for decades, and now we have decades.
Not decades.
Another decades. Another 101 English class. Decades. Our guest, I know he understands me perfectly. So for decades, but now social media is running a big role. A big role in elections. You know what? I'm gonna bring my guest. I need somebody to support me. I need support. I need a backup. Willie Lora, my dear friend. He is a former CNN news director and now political analysis and president of Lora Media Consulting. I need
Willie. You need. I need
a backup.
You need to get her out of the quagmire.
Willie, please
I'm here to back you up. I'm here to help you. Thank you guys for
help me,
invite
please, with
Orlando.
this guy.
Congrats on the launch of your campaign. Wishing you all the luck in the world to get where you wanted to go. Because actually, not only there, but the country needs some sort of some sort of magic, I guess, trying to get their finance together. So I think we're wishing you the best of luck in your campaign. But I'm happy, super thrilled to be here with you guys again.
Now help me, Willie, please. Defend me a little bit.
Okay. So Spanish, English, no, we'll do it in English. But see, I can't understand everything that she's saying perfectly.
I know.
See?
Yeah. No, I can too, but I mean, we have a viewership that may not, so
We
I have to
viewers-
translate.
No, we have viewers that may not understand, and also the platform that we're streaming, they're probably having trouble trying to put the closed caption.
Closed caption. It's like, what'd she say?
Like, what did she say?
Well, that might be an issue.
All right, before we start, Willie, she brought up an interesting topic today, traditional media versus social media. I went back and in YouTube, I couldn't find it, and we were going to try to play it for you. But there is a montage, there's a compendium of all of the national news agencies in 2016 that were collected on the record that said Trump won't win, Trump can't win, Trump will not be president, and it included, MSNBC, it included CNN, it included Barack Obama, it included Nancy Pelosi, it included, all of the usual suspects. Trump will not be president,
Yes.
Trump won't win, and it actually started off with Ann Coulter on the Bill Maher show, and he said, of all the candidates who can win, and he turned to Ann Coulter, and Ann Coulter said, of the declared candidates, Donald Trump. And not only did the panel bust out laughing, the entire audience laughed for 5 minutes. And then the montage starts of everybody during 2016 saying it was impossible for Donald Trump to win. We're doing the same thing now. People ask me all the time, who's going to win the Republican nomination? And I say to them, Willie, well, every time you open a newspaper, a magazine, social media, mainstream media, who are they talking about? Donald Trump.
They're talking about Donald Trump.
Nobody gets
that.
Yeah. So, and so it seems to me, and Andrea and you guys, I'm gonna let y'all because y'all are the professionals in the industry. I'm just telling you as a consumer of information, the mainstream media, and we talk about this all this time, has done themselves in. They've lost all respectability to the extent that several respected news anchors in this country have been fired, beginning with Dan Rather, and then who was the NBC news anchor for years? They fired him. You've seen, and now it's trendy for Fox News, MSNBC, CNN to fire people. I mean, the media, the news, the traditional news is a disaster.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it could be the worst time for the media right now. They lost a lot of credibility from before 2016. The stories that we've seen that they stopped from actually covering, censoring all the stories, politicizing themselves, become part of the story. Things that we always told in our conferences and journalism schools is like not to do is what we're seeing the media doing, which is regrettable. They did the damage to themselves. I think that right now, people are just walking away. They're going away. We've seen that with CNN losing 80 or 85% of the viewership. And other networks coming up, basically digital, which is the one trend right now in terms of panel consumption of content. Is the damage that the traditional network have done to themselves is incredible. So we've seen it every day. We saw it with the Twitter paper, Twitter files, when all the communications between the FBI, the CIA, and DHS and Democratic parties and all these other operatives to censor stories. And the fact that, in my time, 30 years plus within this business, that we always protect the sources and other news outlets, seeing that the rest of the traditional media went ahead and tried to block a story, a major story like the Hunter Biden computer, censor it, and asking Twitter to censor, and asking social media to censor. It was pretty bad. So I think right now, our traditional media is just going down. I don't see them recuperating as long as they continue to have the same faces you people don't trust, and NBC, MSNBC, and CNN, we see it every day. I don't think they're going to recuperate from the damage they did to themselves. And that's the reason why traditional media not only is losing a lot of ground, but then new media, new digital media is just growing. It's growing like crazy. We've seen podcasts, we've seen new names out there, we've seen conversations without censorship. At the same time, there's also a lot of polarization, but you can actually tell who's who and where they go. The problem with traditional media is you can't sell to the public that you are a balanced news organization and 95% of your programming and your people on screen, they're totally biased. So that's the part that people are not buying. But in the podcast world, you know the opinion shows, you know who's in the west side and west side. So you expect it, but when you try to sell to the public that you a balanced traditional news outlet, and on the other hand, everything you see on your screen is the contrary, so they lost a lot of credibility.
So we have on one side traditional media losing credibility. We have in the other side social media that you don't know what to believe, because I mean everybody these days with the phone think that is a reporter. Influencers. Yeah. I mean that's the term. Yeah. I'm an influencer. The other day I was at the gym and I was in the locker room, and I ran into a woman that I know for many years, and she was having her daughters there, and they're grown ups already, and they're already living out of the house. And she was introduced me to the daughters. And I asked one of the daughters, I was like, so what are you doing? I said, well, I live in LA. I said, well, what do you do? Oh, I'm an influencer. I'm like, you're an influencer. Okay, well, you're influencing who? About what? Oh, I make more money being influencer on Instagram than other things. So, a lot of products. And I said, oh, okay, I didn't know that was a career. But people are making money with that. So who to believe? Who to believe? The podcast, the streaming media, the traditional media, the social media? It's a big challenge not only for us as taxpayers to go to vote, but also for people like Orlando that are running for office. So how they send the right message, who is going to get the right message, or what is right, what is wrong these days?
Well, traditional media has always been about the educational part of the communities, like their responsibility about the critical thinking, questioning people in power, being that tool. But it stopped being that tool, it became very political. The issue right now that we're facing in the industry is that digital media and social media, what's going on is like it's a transition right now, like trying to define what is the role and how much is fake news and how much is not fake news. How do we battle fake news? And when you were talking about the influencers, like that's a different kind of thing. That's like okay, those are faces of people that they develop a brand and they use a product to sell it and make money. But it's not information. It's more like infomercial. Like okay, let me get a product. I have X amount of thousands of followers. Buy this product that makes me money. So it's a different thing than going in and trying to have a podcast about information, politics, and policies that we need to look at and have set of understanding where they are and how they do it. Because a lot of the fake news that we're seeing right now comes from those some of these podcasts. And it is a transition. We don't have the tools. The tools are not there to police in a way the 100% that goes out of social media because it's kind of impossible. So it's going to take some time for people and for these podcasters to create the credibility that they need to have so people will actually come and see them and listen to them and participate. That's the transition that where we are. We have not gone completely off traditional media, and we have not gone completely to digital. There's still that marriage is still there. But the move from traditional media to digital media is exponentially is so fast right now People are just leaving cable news and the weekly political show we used to see. We used to watch for a long time. People are just like not watching it anymore. Because the other thing is like with digital media, you have that content in your hand anytime you want. So you don't have to specifically sit in one time to watch a specific program. You have it on your phone and you can watch it at any time. At the end, the thing will be about content. The key is content. How good your content is on digital media or on traditional media. Unfortunately, traditional media is not working because credibility is out the window. But on digital media, it's about content and how credible is that content. And you have good podcasters on the conservative side. You have good podcasters on the liberal side. And what we're trying, and we're trying to help some people and some companies to how to create that content of those podcasts that are just right in the middle of the information. How do we do our function of an educational tool and inform our communities, make better decisions? I think that's what we need to concentrate, knowing that there's a side of the spectrum, the political spectrum, and they're going to be spinning one way or the other. But at the same time, the public needs to be informed, properly informed about those issues that makes life better or worse every day.
I couldn't agree more. You know what it reminds me of, Willie? It reminds me of the gold rush. When everybody was heading from, Boston and New Jersey and New York, because there was gold in California. So it was a mad dash to hit the hills in the Rocky Mountains and find gold. This same transition, they're called disruptive transitions. We've seen it in the agriculture industry. We saw it during the Industrial Revolution. We saw it in the print media where, we saw newspapers just going out of business because nobody was reading a newspaper anymore. Everybody has it on here, right? I can go to any publication in the world. If I want to be a reporter, I can do it right now. I mean, I can go on Facebook Live or Twitter and do a live stream and just, if there's something happening, I'm a reporter.
Anybody can be a reporter these days.
And, maybe people aren't listening to my opinion, Willie, but they're actually looking, I have Texas on here. They're actually looking at live video of what's going on. And I've always said, Channel 13, the ABC affiliate owned by Disney, they get a call at the station. They got to load up the live truck. They got to put up the satellite, beam it, and then finally go live. Or if they have enough money, they'll launch a helicopter. But
these days you can use those little machines that you go live from everywhere, and also they're streaming in social media.
I understand, also. But they're right. So they're gonna get a feed from me, and they're relying on social media. So it's a disruptive, and it's interesting to see that. What I find fascinating is, in the old days, you had the three majors, ABC, CBS, and NBC, and then you had the Nielsen ratings, and advertising dollars went to whoever had the highest ratings because that was the most eyeballs, right? But today there's no ratings on digital. I mean, no. I don't know. Maybe
it's impressions.
We're an award-winning program.
It's called impressions. It's called impressions these days. Yeah. It's not ratings.
Or
it's called
subscribers
impressions
on YouTube.
Yeah, but it's different ways to measure that.
Yeah, but it's not scientific as Nielsen, used to be.
And wait
a minute, it's very dispersed, right? There are millions and millions of digital content providers. So, I mean, really?
And I don't know if you agree with me or not, Willie.
The analytics that we're getting from like live shows right now on digital. There's different tools that I can see exactly who's watching from where and the amount of time on a live show on digital at any time, which help a lot of marketers make decisions about where to put their ads and money. That's how things are changing.
Yeah.
And that's without talking about AI, which is something that not only is concerning for everybody, but right now, with AI, you go and say, look, just write a script about something. It'll write you the script. Just put together this show for me, and it'll do it. Just put together this presentation. So those things and those tools are actually getting to the digital world where we still not only learning, but we're transitioning from traditional to digital is going to complicate things a lot more.
Is that
There's a lot of tools out there.
is that
Go
a
ahead.
trend, Willie? In other words, will there someday be the day where an Orlando Sanchez and Andrea Gomez avatar will hit a key on the on the computer, and artificial intelligence will do a script, and the avatar will read it, and you won't? They won't.
I don't doubt it.
won't
I don't
need
doubt
us.
it. I don't doubt it.
They're already doing some of the stuff. They're doing having the avatar, they're having using your voice and just write
Absolutely. That was on the news this week.
for AI.
Yeah. So Willie,
It
you coming from traditional media as much as I come from traditional media. We were both working back in the days when we were like waiting for February, July, November book that Nielsen was giving us to say or to claim we are number one, or for the sales department to go on sales. Personally, I never really believe in Nielsen. To me, was never accurate till this. I mean, it was not accurate back then, and of course less these days. I believe more now that we have access to digital platforms. What you were saying, the analytics that the digital platforms are giving us, to me, those are the accurate more thing that Nielsen.
Yes.
Nielsen to me was, I mean, they still exist. I don't believe in that. I never believed in that before. And these days, traditional media, they're not doing anymore what we used to call sweeps, which is the ratings months. So sweeps used to be February, and then it was February, May, July, and November. So it was those 4 months.
That's how you put your bucket of money, just like
Exactly.
get a lot of stories, get them with Nielsen.
But they don't do that anymore. And I remember it was like, it's sweeps time. We need to do it, special stories and investigator reports and things like that. They don't do it anymore. This is like, it's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. They're not go deep in any story. They don't investigate anything. So, and then who's paying the price?
The thing is like, when we went digital, I'm talking about the industry, we forgot about doing stories, telling stories, forgot about investigative reporting. And what happened? The price of things started getting cheaper online, because it's online, you already has, so there's a little bit of value. So in order to come to the revenue part of it, they went back to some investigative reporting that they needed to do to sell it separately in terms of like subscriptions, stuff like that. Because you place an ad on social media, it's cheap in comparison still what you get in traditional media. So they need to monetize it, but everything is free on the internet. A lot of the stuff is free. So the value is not as much. So like I was saying, we're dealing with a lot of changes in the industry right now in terms of digital. That is, we carving the new tools and the new books on how to go from this traditional part of the business to this new digital, from not only editorial, also from the revenue perspective, from the marketing and PR perspective. All that have changed. And we're still in a period of adjusting how to make it work better. And when I make comment about the AI, it's because it's kind of like converging. And we still have not been able to nail down a proper process.
We're still learning about AI. We're still learning about AI, and I wanted you analyze or talk more, extend on that topic. I had an expert on AI like a month ago here. He already have his second book. He's talking about, he's bilingual. He's been in national TV talking about the topic. And he was saying something very important, that he said, whoever is running for office and are capable to understand or hire somebody that understand artificial intelligence, that person can be the next president or the next mayor or the next whatever is the position that they're running. If that person think beyond, outside of the box, outside of the traditional politics or the way they doing politics, and hire an expert on artificial intelligence, that person can probably win, has the highest chances to win.
Why?
So
That's-
I
that's-
wanted
that-
you to
that's
talk
the
about
reason why
that
Elon
because I
Musk-
also want
yeah.
Orlando to understand the importance on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the reason why Elon Musk said, look, we need to regulate this, and even though he's one of the originals in terms of the artificial intelligence, and also the Godfather actually quit Google the other day, saying, look, this can become really problematic if we don't regulate or stop some of the things that are happening, because AI, in a way, it updated itself. There's so much information on the website around the world. It's like this huge brain that brings everything together. So let's say Orlando's going to run his campaign. With AI, he can have that system write his speeches, knowing everything that's going on in the county and the state, with precise numbers. Not only write it, sign presentations, launch a marketing campaign online. All these can be done artificially. And the problem with that is like, is it selling Orlando, or is it setting a perfect version of Orlando? You know what I mean? It's like,
That's hard to achieve. That's hard to achieve, Willie. That's hard to achieve.
Here we go. There you go.
But the thing is, like, in our world, we're so now used to consuming short version of things and look at it like as fully true. Like they can launch a campaign that says a 2-minute campaign is going to run here and there, but he's not telling you the entire truth. But you believe it because it's all well put together, has all the information that you need, and it's based on studies that AI has developed and how people are thinking in different districts or communities. It's like the reason why they're calling for caution in terms of AI is because it's too powerful. And like Elon Musk said in one of his interviews, it's like they can even create a digital god. And creating a digital god is actually challenging what we know in terms of our values and stuff. So it's pretty dangerous. People are using it to a point, taking advantage of it, but not knowing all the consequences that AI can bring. So I will caution people.
I agree. I'm going to start a trend. So I'm going to put a disclaimer on my campaign website and all my campaign material that says AI free. Do you remember years ago when they started coming out with plastic containers for water and beverages, and they found out it contained BPA, and then all the manufacturers started printing non-BPA, So I'm going to say I am
AI free.
I am an AI
free.
Yeah. And that'll be the new trend, because people will know if you have an AI free candidate that it's original, it's authentic, it's organic, versus an AI candidate who's an avatar and gets all their information from some server in Russia.
Yeah, or writing. Not writing the speeches and just using artificial intelligence to do everything for them.
Yeah.
But I think artificial intelligence is a good tool if you know how to use it. If you use it in a positive way, because it helps you to analyze behaviors, as you were saying, that if you're gonna run, for example, as a governor. So it helps you to analyze how to get the right message and effective message in different cities. So because even though that Texas has an average of 50% of the population Hispanic, let's put it a number, but the Hispanics are different. And in every city in Texas, we are different. So artificial intelligence can help you in many ways. But as you said, we need to be very careful with that.
The issue with that is and this is where the key of the whole thing is. In other technologies, there's a point that we have control. Like we control it, most of it, to a point. With AI, the problem is like we cannot control the entire thing. It grows and develops by itself. It uses the information that everybody in the world is putting on the website, on the world, and it feeds from that. And it builds up this character. So they don't even know how far it can go. So in some of these technologies, we have control. The problem with AI is that it gets to a point that we will have control. You say, well, I can use it for this, it'll be great. Well, for that, it would be great. Then you have the issues with hackers that can hack your system, and using AI, they can change. So there's a lot of questions that we don't have answers to, and that's the reason why people like Elon Musk and the godfather of AI are calling for caution and to regulate it. Because if it gets out of control, then it's going to be impossible for us to bring that back into the bag. So that's where the thing is.
Willie, this reminds me of a Star Trek episode. It was actually, I think it started off as a movie, and it was essentially there was an entity in the universe causing all kinds of havoc, tearing things up, blowing up galaxies and whatnot. And of course, they send the Enterprise out, and they find the entity and they approach it, and it was called V'ger. They thought it was called V'ger, but when they rubbed the nameplate off this entity, it was Voyager. It was the human-launched space exploration vehicle that consumed so much data, so much knowledge, that it started to take over the original programming by the Earth beings, and it became its own entity and was beginning to destroy universes and galaxies. And it was that's what AI is. And you say, well, it can be regulated. Yeah, but the regulators will control AI. It's fascinating to me, and especially about creating a deity where people will worship. I mean, humanity wants nothing more than something to worship. That's actually the theme of a great book called the Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. There's a chapter in there called The Grand Inquisitor, and there's a quote that says, man's always looking for someone to worship, someone to follow, someone to lead them, someone to feed them, someone to give them manna from heaven, because being a human being is tough. And it's if we remove our analytical capabilities to use reason and all of our knowledge and our spiritual learning to make a decision, we just let AI do it. Boy, that's a dangerous world.
We'll be captive of technology. And I think that's one of the concerns, like how much us as a world, society, will give up control to a system like AI. So that's part of the conversation that needs to happen. I think there's people that are interested in just have it out there as quick as possible. But the people that we know created and funded some of that are the one calling for caution because they know how problematic.
It's interesting you say that, and I watched a program that maybe you guys have seen because you're obviously farther ahead on this than me. But there's a program on YouTube, I think, Netflix, and it's called The Great Hack, and it was about Cambridge Analytica and how they began to use all those data points to influence elections they had been influencing elections around the world, from Jamaica to India to Bangladesh to whatever, and the founders of Cambridge Analytica sold the United States in the Barack Obama campaign. Then they sold the Donald Trump campaign, and there was a professor of technology, I think in the East Coast, that decided to find out how this was working. Have you seen the program, Willie? The Great Hack?
I've seen the program.
Okay,
I think
so. The professor sues Cambridge Analytica to find out. It's like suing the credit bureaus. Remember, the credit bureaus used to be sued because they would not reveal your credit information to you. And Congress steps in and says, the credit information belongs to Andrea. She's entitled to it. And so she gets 2 free reports every year because Congress. And so what this professor was doing was, I want to know what Cambridge Analytica has on me. And because what he said was, by the time his 4-year-old daughter grew up, big data would have over 70,000 data points on her that they could predict her behavior.
Yes.
I mean, that's powerful.
And that's very, very powerful. And even before AI, there was tools out there, especially used by marketers and big corporations, that they need to know who's consuming what, in which stage, which community, what gender, the amount of time. So there's so much information for them to make decisions about their marketing the product in different. It's so precise. They can even predict how much money they will make with X product in X amount of time. It's crazy. But
And artificial
the
intelligence
amount
is
of
not
information.
new. It's not new, Willie. It's just ChatGPT brought this to be something, around the world, like last November when launched ChatGPT. But artificial intelligence is not new. It's something that now everybody's talking about it, but it's not new.
They're talking about it because nobody before was talking about the consequences of it. It was because it was easy to use. It was in a way we were becoming lazy because somebody else was doing the work for us. So what we did not predict is like when ChatGPT came out, which is only one. There's so many different AI apps that people are using. They were not predicting the consequences of it. It was easy to use. It was giving you tools for you to do many things. But right now, we are at the point of being concerned because of how big it has become and how much bigger it will become because it feeds on the information that we're putting on the web. Everybody around the world is putting information. This monster is just feeding itself on all that information. And that's where the danger is.
Well,
And that's why they're going to regulate.
it's funny, Willie, because my friends, including Andrea, make fun of me because I don't have apps. I have very few apps on this phone, but they get the data from apps, right? Like if you go to Albertsons, where I get to shop up in the Pacific Northwest, but I'm also here in Houston, Texas. So we have Kroger, we have HEB, or as Hispanics call it, HEB.
No, HEB. We call it
HEB.
Even me call it HEB.
And then so you have Randall's, you have everybody. Now to get your coupons, because in the old days when, Willie, I know you're younger than I am, but you're kind of my generation. And in the old days, Willie, we used to get coupons in the mail. We would clip them out of a magazine, right? Now, to get a coupon, what do you have to do? You have to turn over and you have your data.
Yeah.
And not only that, you have to download the app so that they actually know what aisles you're walking up and down. By cameras, they're watching what you grab. I mean, Costco does this very effectively. They analyze human behavior at every store. So the Costco stores are laid out. The floor plan is laid out strategically based on all the big data they have on human behavior. I mean, it's fascinating to me. So I don't have apps. They don't have anything on me.
That's what you think.
When you're in business, you want to make as much money as you can.
Right.
So the best information you get of where you place your product is going to increase your revenue. Of course, you're going to use it. That's why you're in business. But like you were saying, right now, the minute you buy a phone, you surrender most of your privacy to the carriers because you have to download apps and they know your location, they have your email address, they have everything, they have your cell phone number. So the minute we got a phone like this, we're giving our privacy.
But I have a complaint, and then I'm going to shut up because Andrea's going to complain that I take over the program. But I have a complaint, Willie, so in the old days, when social media platforms are coming up, politicians, because we're like a product. We're trying to get eyeballs. Listen to my story. Listen to my platform. Listen to my issues. We could target people based on race, based on whether they clicked on Republican websites or Democrat websites or nonpartisan. So after the Cambridge Analytica debacle where they called in Mr. Zuckerberg, I call it farce book now, not Facebook, farce book. Now Facebook uses that as an excuse to control who gets to see your message. And not only that, we can't target anymore based, at least in politics. But Coca-Cola can get big data and they can target, but we politicians can't. That's my complaint.
Well, because about money that they're believing. Like, God forbid, $400 million, and so many different communities just like, eh, just push their message out. So, talking about what Elon Musk did was just perfect. It was like, hey, let me open up the books. See what was going on Twitter. Actually, we have the president we have now was the president we put in office by traditional media and censoring all that. It's the first president that the media actually have put in place at the White House. So seeing what happened, what was going on in Twitter, it was just a window of what was going on in the rest of social media. It was being influenced by special interests, not only money, but federal agencies and government, which was something that we all suspected, but we had not seen the evidence until the Twitter files came out. And we saw the communications, we saw the money that was paid to Twitter. And not only we can see that there were curving the message, banning people, shadow banning people. Elon Musk fired 85% or 85% of the entire, platform of the employees. 85% of them. And Twitter not only continues to be, a solid company, but it continues to grow and innovating. So which means, like he said in one of his interviews, that Twitter was being used as a propaganda tool for a political party.
Right.
Working together with government agencies, and that's the reason why they needed, that amount of people.
I tell you, Willie, yeah, look, I'm concerned. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm an old man, and I might, as I saw somebody say the other day, life is like a game of golf, and I'm on the back nine. I don't know if I'm on the 12th hole or the 16th hole. So I'm not going to see the conclusion of this. But I am concerned, as you correctly point out, that when you use social media, big data, artificial intelligence in collusion with governmental agencies that had been highly respected in this country, because I think during the pandemic and after, there's two institutions that have lost tremendous credibility in this country. One is the Centers for Disease Control. I think Fauci made a disaster. It wasn't his fault. He just got caught into the politics. Fauci made a disaster out of medical advice. In this country, when the AMA or the Pediatric Association or the Centers for Disease Control said something, people listened. Now, when Fauci gets on, it's a joke. I mean, now he's created non-vaxxers, and it's a disaster. The other institution that has suffered and is suffering as we speak is the FBI. Unbelievable that they are using the FBI to raid the home of a former president of the United States that they could have gone to a court and gotten a subpoena. They could have worked it out behind the scenes. They have literally lost so much credibility. The FBI is and so when American institutions begin to lose credibility among the American taxpayer and people, we're in deep poo-poo.
Yep.
Yeah, we lose the Republic. You say the CDC, the FBI. I will add the DOJ and the IRS. We've seen how, FBI whistleblower came out to last week and said, look, it's corrupt. We were actually spying on people. We were sent to schools and board meetings to sit outside and churches just take the tag of people assisting to these meetings. It's like, what would the FBI was doing a domestic spying operation? We saw the Doherty report where there was falsifying documents to continue a spy operation, knowingly that the information was false, and people that needed to stop it, like the former president and the former vice president, that were briefed on it, the actual president, they didn't stop it. They let it happen. And they continue to do this political persecution, which actually go against everything that we believe. And that's why, as a country right now, we have no moral to go to another country and talk about democracy, the strength of democracy, the use of justice system. Because we can. We actually use a political party, use our institutions to remove a duly elected president. First, to stop him from running, and second, when he got in office, take him out. Using the FBI, using the Department of Justice, and using the IRS, which is crazy. We never thought we were going to be seeing what we're seeing. But it happens, and obviously the country's suffering because of that. And the political leadership, some of them, they don't care. They believe that it's a witch hunt. It's something like, no, it is important that we maintain that separation of power. But at the same time, if we don't have that credibility, nobody else in the world is going to believe what we are talking about when we go overseas as a country, and we talk about democracy, we talk about education, we talk about family values. All that is out the window. Why? Because you are corrupt, and institutions are being corrupted, so you can put in government the candidate of your preferences. Like, we don't do that in this country, but that's what we're seeing. And that's what the Durham report, reveals. Something that we knew it was happening. It's just now official.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, and that's what Fidel Castro used to use in the '60s and '70s and '80s when we would go say, "You're treating Cubans poorly by denying them their access to freedom of press and freedom of elections and freedom of association." And Castro would turn around and say, "Well, didn't you guys do the same thing to African Americans? Enslaving them?" And you're exactly right. You can't hold a higher moral ground if you yourself, in the privacy of your own home, are doing the same thing. So it's a brilliant observation, Willie. You're up.
And it's happening like we saw. I saw a tweet this morning from the Hill, the newspaper. We're talking about how the Democrats were saying that this guy that just got sentenced, I think, 8 years in prison because he was part of the January 6th violent intrusion in Capitol Hill and all that. 8 years for being part of that. And I say, okay, that is great. People break the law, they should pay the consequences. But I don't see somebody that actually paid, financed a document to use the FBI, the DOJ, to remove a president, elect, and then a president. I don't see that person in prison. And that's in some place called a political coup.
Yeah.
And that's really dangerous. Like we use the justice system to go after a group, and people are actually has committed crimes like Durham reports. Like you can't just finance a document and use federal agency to remove somebody from office, especially a president of the United States, and not paying the consequences. That is the big issue that not only the media has not reporting, and not using critical thinking and questioning power, because this is something that should be, if we want to save our republic, is something that we should not only be talking about, but forcing the media to talk about that and question power. We should not allow this type of thing to happen.
They claim it's a right-wing conspiracy.
So, in conclusion, Willie, before we finish the program, we're about to, you're running out of time. In conclusion, what do you need to be the strategy for people that are running for office to send the message if we're having this big challenge between traditional media, social media, and streaming platforms?
I think Orlando was saying something really important. How many eyes do you want the message to go to? There's different platforms. Use them all. Use it respectively and correctly. That would be my message. Like, as many eyeballs they can hear, see your message, or hear your message is much better. So just do it responsibly. Don't put any fake information out there. Some people will run on of it. Some people will look into it and call it fake or something. Just put the right information out there. So many outlets still use traditional media, but social media and digital media, where there's people consuming more content. That's where you want to be.
I think there's
more eyes, more reach.
I think there's a word for that, Willie. It's called integrity.
You got it.
And everything in life, it should be done with integrity, whether it's reporting as a journalist, whether it's in transparency in financial operations as bankers, whether it's as a police officer, as a physician. You want to act with integrity. I think people naturally see that you are honest, that you're delivering a good product. That's what I couldn't agree more. I mean,
and integrity these days is not something that is trendy, for sure.
No, integrity is not trendy.
No, it's not trendy. Ethics, integrity, those words, no. Yeah, no.
Exactly. And that's why people tune into this program, because not only do we have brilliant guests like Willie, but we tell it the way it is. We don't have a dog in the hunt. Notice our title is conservative. We're not Republican. We're not Democrat. We really want the best, and we try to.
At the end, we have a responsibility. Like I said, a really well-informed community is a stronger community, makes it a better country. And if we fail that responsibility, then we're failing our country, we're failing our communities, brothers and sisters.
Education is always the key of everything.
Willie, you're a great patriot. I love patriots.
Thank you, guys.
Willie, thank you so much for your time. And oh my God, I love having you in the show. You always give like a fresh air to the show.
Thanks again, Willie.
Thank you. Anytime that you guys need me, just make the call.
We'll bring you back for
that.
sure. Thank you so much. Love you.
Wow. I could have talked to him for another 2 hours.
Oh, I can talk to him all day long.
Yeah.
He is not only smart, entertained, fun, he's a lot of things.
You don't have enough adjectives to
No, I don't.
describe him.
I don't. I mean, I just no tengo
hay palabras.
suficientes palabras para describir lo increíble que es Willie. Además que es mi amigo.
Bueno, as everybody knows, Andrea's taken over the by the way, if you have a complaint about the quality of the program and the production quality, right here.
No. The production is one side, and the booking in the program is another side.
And
the production will send it to Mark, and the booking it send it to me. So it's two sides of production, and I'm gonna really teach you about that.
I'm in charge of talent.
I'm gonna teach you about that.
I've never received a complaint.
I'm gonna teach you about that. It's a technical production, and it's a talent production. Production. So in technical is Mark, in the other one is me.
And what role do
I
fill?
think we're doing excellent in both.
Okay.
And you're just showing up. Period. Right, Mark? Please.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
El jefe.
El jefe.
El jefe. I
El
mean,
jefe,
you just show up and do the show.
El jefe just show up and it's not like asking, what do we have today?
All right. Again, TexasLatinoConservatives.com is our website. Leadership Latino is coming up. Leadership Latino, we had a tremendous class. Many of our graduates are now leaders in the state of Texas holding public office, whether it's city council, whether it's school board, whether it's the state board of education, whether it's on the court of appeals. We're doing great things. And again, if you want to learn the skills that we impart upon you to become an elected official, whether it's holding public office, whether it's being a fundraiser, whether it's being a press secretary, whether it's being a researcher, you have to come to Leadership Latino. You can sign up on our website. If you're out of town, we do subsidize your travel and your hotel. So it's limited in space, but make sure you sign up early. Leadership Latino will be held in August. I don't know.
It's going to be in August, but stay tuned with our website and our calendar.
Well, it's up. It's live now.
It's already?
Yeah, it's hot.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
hot.
Oh, it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot. All right. So we have all the details in the webpage. So just go to our website, TexasLatinoConservatives.com, and we're not only going to have the information about Leadership Latino, but other events that were conducted.
Also, I want to say this: last week we had a Zoom meeting with over 50 chairs of Republican Party chairs around the state of Texas to teach them what we've learned about how to reach out to diverse communities in the state of Texas. Very successful. We will continue to do that. And again, all of the things that we're doing is because of the generosity of your contributions. So make sure that you go to our website and donate $5, $10, $50, or $50,000.
Nos vemos el próximo miércoles. Muchísimas gracias
Hasta
por
luego.
habernos acompañado.
Hasta la próxima.
Chao, chao.